busy partying, Kat.
Squeeze it down on you.
You want me to go up?
No, just if something happens here.
Actually, how'd you play yesterday? Yeah, very good.
Marvellous, lovely. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Everybody's settled. Thank you. Well, would like to welcome Greg here. I just said you're still in carnival mood after such a fantastic season.
Yeah, you're right. Look, a month ago I wouldn't have imagined I'd be sitting here today, but it's been a crazy month, and I've been very fortunate the last couple of weeks. I've been able to relax, and I think I took my kids to Luna Park, and we went to the zoo and done a bunch of dad stuff, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the week.
Have you played Victoria very much?
No, incorrect. As a kid, I played one interstate series here. We play 5 times, 36 holes a day. So I have played it enough to not warrant sort of being out there today, I guess. I'll play the Pro-Am tomorrow. Easy golf course to figure out, pretty short. And so length isn't a major issue, which is kind of nice. Just short game and putting. I've already done some chipping and trying to get used to, again, the ball releasing so far has been probably the biggest challenge.
And after this, what are your plans?
I fly to Perth on Sunday night for 2 weeks, and then I'm back to Dallas to get ready for next year.
Great. Questions, please. Steve, thank you.
Greg, initially you didn't want to commit to this tournament, but having won the first 2 of the summer, was it a difficult decision in the end to be here?
I think I've said not long after that, I probably made it sound like a bigger deal than what it was. I think the only issue I had was I hadn't committed to this tournament when I first planned to come to Australia. So I just didn't want to sit there on Sunday evening after the PGA and say, hey, yeah, I'm definitely going to come, and then turn around the next day and say no. So I think by lunchtime the next day I'd spoken to all the right people that matter in my life, and said, yeah, well, we're going to go play. So I think it's an opportunity to, it's a shot of a little piece of history. So it's something that is kind of exciting.
Greg, 2 things. You didn't mention the 202 Australian Open when they played the 3-rounder, so I presume you didn't play that, yeah?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Here at Victoria, the 202.
Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
And the second thing, how do you get around this course? What are the things that are important? And were you able to bottle what you had in those 2 tournaments you won recently?
Yeah, well, I sure hope so. I've been trying to drink that drink every night if I can. I would say the keys around this golf course, given that length is not a major issue, it seems to be a really strong second shot golf course. You can get it in play, but from there it's how well you play. Your iron play is really important. And again, in Melbourne, it's always about short game. If you can chip and putt well, you're a chance. Because if you miss a green here, what can look fairly innocuous can actually be quite difficult because they tend to roll another yard or 2 when they get on the green than you expect. So you can get in a bit of trouble if you short side yourself.
After the PGA, you said to us that you'd found something within yourself in those 2 weeks. Can you elaborate on that?
I guess what I had tried to do was put less pressure on myself to actually win and more pressure on myself to play good shots and shoot a good score. Particularly both events, I went into Sunday, particularly the Australian Open, which if I shot a good round, there was a chance. I didn't really feel that way at the PGA at the start of the day. But I thought at the Australian Open, let's just try and play solid golf, hit good shots, not put so much pressure on myself to score well, not get frustrated if I was 1 or 2 under, wasn't 1 or 2 under, or if I was over par. As it turned out, I got away to good starts because of that attitude. And that's the only thing that I've tried to do differently. In the past, I'd be frustrated, like at Coolum, I was even par through 7 holes. On that golf course, you're 3 shots behind what should be a good score. And as it turned out, I played the last 11 holes 5 under. So just staying patient and being smart enough to recognise that if it happens, let it happen. But if it doesn't, okay, we'll go to next week.
Next.
You've accentuated what you get from winning the money order and the 2 tournaments earlier. How important is a Masters berth for you? And I'll wait for you to answer that first question.
Oh, incredibly important. I mean, it's the you're talking about the opportunity this week. For me, I don't know what my ranking is now at the moment, but I was around 64 or 5 or around in that region. So if I have a strong finish this week, and I'm guessing a first or a second, which is a very strong finish, I have a chance to get in the top 50 in the world. And that gets me in the Masters. It gets me in all the majors, all the World Golf Championship events. I haven't done that in my career. So that is a fantastic opportunity, and that's on the back of these tournaments here in Australia, or our tour in Australia. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very pleased and thankful to the tour down here for their ability to get those exemptions.
The second question is, the field here this week is as strong as some of the tournaments where you've performed well or won. How much of a disadvantage is it for the international field from Europe to have had the Dubai Masters before this event, when everything is now done and dusted as far as they are concerned?
Good question. Probably a better question for them than me, but I'd imagine that given how Luke Donald's been playing, not enough of a disadvantage. He's had a career year this year. He's had a year that honestly a lot of players would define as a great career just in one season. So, but you're talking about him, you're talking about Poulter, you're talking about Matteo Manacera, you're talking about guys who are world-class players who travel and play, it seems, more often than not. I don't see them having any trouble at all adapting to golf here on the Sandbelt.
Any more questions? Yes, thank you, Mark.
How are you dealing with all this?
It's been interesting. I will tell you one story. I was after the PGA. I flew back to Sydney and I got worded up that Channel 10 were going to interview me, and I walked off. My wife didn't want to be on TV, so that's fine. So she sent her and the kids walked off, and I walked up to this reporter who was just standing there with the cameraman, and I said, "I'm just out of interest. Who are you looking for?" She said, "I'm waiting for Greg Chalmers." And I said, "Yeah, that's me." And so I said to my wife, "It's only been 24 hours. My star is fading already." You know, it's the nature of the game.
You're enjoying it though, right?
Yeah, look, I've enjoyed. I'll say that dealing with the press and you guys, I can see why people get it wrong. I've enjoyed parts of it, but I did interviews after the Australian Open from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. on the hour, pretty much every hour, with a hangover and 2 hours sleep. I can see where guys get it wrong. I can see how you can get in trouble because I had to watch what I said, and that part of it is staying on your toes is difficult because you don't want to say the wrong thing. But just the reaction I've gotten from people has been amazing. I had people coming up and saying, "Hey, well done and do well next week," or things like that. It's the 6 degrees of separation is always intriguing. The people who keep an eye on what you're doing, and that's kind of cool.
Steve?
Greg, you said a couple of minutes ago you wouldn't be expecting to sit up here a few weeks ago, having won the first 2 tournaments. Has that changed vastly your expectations of what you can achieve over the next 12 months? How you're playing, how you're feeling at the moment?
Yeah, look, I don't know if my expectations would change. I haven't won on the PGA Tour, and my expectations my goals are to do that. Now, I think I have a better idea of how to go about it. I think some of the things I've done in the past, talking about what I was talking about with patience and the pressure I put on myself, I've seen better results in the last couple of weeks or the last few tournaments by not doing that. But things have changed quickly, and sometimes golf, it's a difficult game, so your expectations sometimes can hurt you, so you've got to be careful. But look, my goal is to try and win on the PGA Tour, and I haven't done that yet.
Greg, you've had support from the only other player who's achieved what you are trying to do. You were very gracious in acknowledging his contribution in your career yesterday, saying that he got you invites. You've got a very close bond with Robert.
Yeah, look, I'm friends with Robert, and I'm friends with the Robert Allenby that you see off the course, and then there's a different one sometimes that people see publicly. I think privately he's a different man. Given what you've seen, what he's done with his charity and with the Chalmers Foundation, raising millions of dollars for kids with cancer. And Robert, for me personally, has always been very good. He's leveraged himself to get me starts in a couple of tournaments in the States when I really needed it. You know, he's my friend, so I go and help him out at his charity event.
Steve?
Greg, can I just ask you, how important do you think the new tournament over in Perth is for the Australian tour that was announced what, a week or so ago?
Very important. I think important for Perth golf and for our tour as well. It's going to be our richest event. And then to showcase Perth, because Perth is a city, even though it's the most isolated city in the world, it's also one of the prettiest cities and comes up just fantastically on TV. And one of the things about Australian golf is we have a real opportunity, and I don't know how well it's sold, but golf as a destination, as a tourist destination for us, here in Melbourne is one obviously that should be taken as a chance. And then Perth as well, I think as a city with its beaches and its golf, that event will showcase it very, very well, and that golf course will as well.
Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? No? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Greg, for
Thanks.
coming in. Hope to see you in the week.
Thanks, Kat.
It'd be great.